Okay, the highly requested video about binge eating, overeating, snacking, and how to deal with it, how to overcome it, how to stop binge eating, because a lot of people go through it, man. I had this phase in my life where I would binge eat all the time, and then I started putting on weight. I wasn't sleeping, I was stressed, I didn't look the way I wanted to look, and I could not stop binge eating. I would go a few days where I wouldn't eat, and then I'll get back on track with my diet, and the next thing you know, I have 2 days where I'm just binge eating, and like it ruined my mental health, man. It just honestly took so much from me, and I did not know how to escape it. And I'm just searching stuff online all the time and trying to figure out like why and like what it is and stuff. And like it was the most frustrating thing ever. And I just want to talk about it and also talk about how to curb hunger and just all that. So, it's all going to kind of tie into one. If you see me looking at my phone, I have some notes in here. But you got to find out if you're binge eating, overeating, you got to find out why. All right? You got to find out if it's because you're overeating, because you're stressed, because of anxiety, because of what is going on in your life. And like, you got to literally find out if it's just because you're hanging with the wrong friend group and it's negative, and you go home and you hate who you're being around with, or whatever it is. You just got to find the reason why. Now, if it's not something like that, that's not what it was for me. For me, it was restriction of my diet. Me looking at all this food and saying it's bad, I can't have this, I can't have that, like all this stuff, bro. And then like I would be doing 2 workouts a day, burning, around 4,000 calories and having like 1,800, and then doing that over a few day span, my body, it isn't getting the fuel it needs. And then I'm just ruining myself. And then next thing you know, I'm good for 3 days, then I have 2 days of just terrible eating. And then it's just this endless cycle, bro. And it was because I wasn't giving my body the proper nutrition. I wasn't hydrating correctly, which is a huge part of it as well, because if you are going to snack, if you're overeating, most of the time, you're just dehydrated and you think you're hungry, but really you're thirsty. And the next thing you know, you're sitting there and you're just chowing down on chips and whatnot, and you eat the whole bag, And then, so it comes from like that, just restriction of diet, thinking all this food is bad, which really there is no bad food. It's just eating everything in moderation and staying under your calorie deficit goal or your calorie goal, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And also it's like with all that, it comes bad sleep, and yeah, bad sleep will ruin it because then your hormones are all messed up, and you're just honestly, like every time I don't get sleep, I'm super hungry and I overeat. That's why I don't go out drinking as much. Drinking ruins it, because if you go out and drink, like when I used to drink a lot, bro, I would literally get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, be super dehydrated. Next thing you know, that whole day, I would just binge eat all day. Like I would literally tell myself I'm not gonna eat, then I would eat, and the next thing you know, I can't stop. And it was just like this horrible, horrible cycle, and it took forever to snap out of it. So now let's talk about, that's what you gotta do. You gotta find out why, you gotta find out what you're doing, and you just gotta be honest with yourself. That is the most important thing, is just be honest about what might be causing it, and then you gotta decide right now how to combat that, how to adjust and make it so it stops. And I'm gonna talk about some things that helped me and everything. One of my main things was I thought fats was just like eating fats was gonna make me fat. I was like, fats? Oh my gosh, like bro, like I'm gonna put on fat, and that is the furthest thing from true. If you're on a 2,000 calorie like daily intake, you need 45 to 75 grams of fat. I would be having days, man, where I'm having like 20 grams. And having that low, you're messing up your hormones completely. You're messing up your whole system. You can't think, you can't feel properly. Like everything is just not working. Your body's not functioning the way it's supposed to function. And then if you have too many fats, then you're messing up your digestion as well. You're messing up your hormones as well. You can't, what is it? I wrote it down. Then too many fats causes inflammation, affects your mood and focus, and that's like the same thing as not enough fats. So too many, not enough. You got to find the right balance. You got to be, like I said, between 45 to 75. That's why I try to get like 60 grams like every single day. And that way it helps absorb more vitamins and nutrients in your body and everything. And like, you just need to find that. And that was my biggest thing, because then I would go from like no fats to overeating. And when I'm overeating, it's like ice cream, it's all this stuff. And it's literally almost no protein. It's just fats and carbs. and it would ruin it. So I'll go from no fats to unlimited fats, and then my digestion is terrible, and I'm just like having the worst of times. My mood is shit. Everything is terrible. And that was, honestly, I had to be honest with myself, that was one of the main things for that. And I just had to fix my diet, you know? And it's like fixing my diet to be able to have a well-balanced diet and well-balanced meals for every meal was probably the biggest thing. And to make sure I'm eating enough for how active I am. You got to eat enough for how active you are. If you're not super active, then you don't have to eat as much, you know? You still want to be able to eat enough, but like I wasn't eating enough. So what I did was bump my calories up and just not do a second workout. I'll just do one good workout a day and then just get my steps in and be able to get the proper amount of fats, 45 to 75 around there. And then get my protein. Make sure you're eating enough protein. Protein and fiber in each meal, because this keeps you satiated, it keeps you full, and protein helps you keep lean muscle mass. And like if I have a meal at like, if I fast, all right, till noon, and then I have a meal full of protein, I'm talking 50 grams of protein, maybe let's say 15 grams of fat, and then a bunch of fiber and a little bit of carbs, bro, I'm satiated and I'm full for a long time and I don't need to eat. And it's like when you're not getting fiber, when you're not getting a lot of protein, if you're getting, I don't know, 2 grams of a gram of fiber in a meal and then 10 grams of protein and the rest is carbs, you're not going to be full for long. You're going to be wanting a snack 30 minutes later. You know, you got to have a well-balanced, get the protein, get the fiber, get the carbs, get the fats, all that. And then it's like you should aim to have, you know, around like 45 to 50 grams of protein each meal, because that just makes it easier. That way you're not eating as much, you know. Protein, your body takes more energy to digest protein. So when you're eating a lot of protein, your body has to work twice as hard to digest it, and it keeps you full. So boom, you're already burning more calories just by eating more protein, you know. And that alone makes a world of difference. And like also just thinking like carbs are the enemy, they are not. Carbs are not the enemy. Fats are not the enemy. Protein is not the enemy, okay? It's just your shit look on food and just overeating. That is the enemy, is overeating and like thinking you can't have certain foods. And one of the main things for me was, I was like, I can't have ice cream. I can't have B-dubs. I can't have pizza. And like restricting myself and trying to make this, my like relationship with food, like healthy, when it just made it toxic and terrible, because I'm like, oh, like all that food's terrible, but it's not, as long as it fits in my calorie intake. But also it's like if I have a day where I go over just a little bit, it's okay, man. It's one thing you need to realize is you can have bad foods and enjoy it and not feel guilty. Just move more, work out more, do more stuff, you know. And it's like by restricting yourself to say, I can never have ice cream again, I can't have pizza, it's like maybe not every day, obviously, but like once a week, man, treat yourself and make it so it's like, okay, I've been good throughout the week. I can have pizza. I can have a day where I have an extra 500,000 calories. Like it is what it is, bro. Life is short, you know? Then if anything, if you have an extra 1,000 calories, the next day just move a little more, you know? And that's like one of the main things for me too, is like when I would overeat, when I would binge eat, I would binge eat by a lot, and then I just wouldn't eat the next day. But the most important thing is if you have, you know, like I said, an extra 1,000 calories one day, the next day, the most important thing, get back on track. Get back on track. Just go back to what you were doing. Go back on your meal plan. Don't do these crazy long fasts, because when I do crazy long fasts and then I just start eating again, then I can't stop. And that was like part of the cycle that like ruined it for me, man. And I went through this for a long time. And being a model, that is not it. It made me not get work and stuff. And it ruined my mental state, man. So it's like finding with the well-balanced meals and just diet for you is just insanely important. Hydration, I talk about it all the time. You guys know this. Hydration is so important. Get your electrolytes in, slam water all day, every day. Now, if you're having a whole food diet and eating a lot of fruit, red meat, eggs, all this stuff, just drink a lot of water, man. Just drink a lot of water. Be properly hydrated. It is so important because it regulates everything and just makes you feel 10 times better when you're properly hydrated. People nowadays are not drinking enough water, and that just plays a major part in your life. So make sure you are hydrated, because a lot of times you think you're hungry, but really you're just dehydrated. Now sleep. Sleep is the most important thing. Get your sleep. I'm at this point in my life now, man, where I just I'll go out with friends, but I want to be home by like 11, 12. I want to be able to get my sleep in, getting like 7, 8 hours, because like I said before, if I don't get a lot of sleep, I am hungry the next day, dude. I am so hungry. So like just by getting sleep, if I get like 8, 9 hours of sleep one night, I'm really not that hungry the next day. And I'm so energetic. Like sleep is so important, and it just helps you recover, especially if you're doing hard workouts, have long days, a lot of stress and stuff. So get your sleep, prioritize hydration in your diet, man. And like just those three alone will change your life, Even if you're not working out, just having a good diet, proper hydration, and good sleep, you're gonna feel like a whole new person. And you can't just do one of the three. You can't do two of the three. You wanna do three of the three, man. It's a process, You can't do one thing, If I'm a wide receiver, if I have good hands, but I can't run routes, what good does that do? I got to work on all of them, It's a whole bunch of stuff that you got to do. And then this is another main thing is after I would eat a meal, or after you eat a meal, go for a 5-10 minute walk. Just go for a quick walk. Even if it's snowing outside, if it's cold and you don't want to go outside, just walk around your house, walk around your apartment. Just walk or move around for 5-10 minutes. Allow your food to digest, because half the time when I eat, I think about this all the time, when it's Thanksgiving or something like that, and we're having a big meal, I will go sit down immediately after. I'm like, oh, I'm so full. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, where's the dessert? Like, where's the pecan pie? And it's like, go move, drink, slam some water, go move. Helps tremendously, helps you digest the food you just ate, and it doesn't spike your blood sugar when you're moving. Like if you have a lot of food and then you just go sit down, it's just, I don't know, it helps, moving just helps regulate your body and your body's system, But also that is something, if you are like, trying to avoid snacking, right? If you notice you're hungry, this is what I do, slam a glass of water, then go for a 5-10 minute walk, then come back and see if you're still hungry. Because odds are you're either just bored or dehydrated. So slam a full glass of water, go for a walk. Sometimes, like I walk a lot, and it helps curb my hunger. And it also just helps me think about things in life, So like walking, if you're hungry, go for a quick walk, hydrate, and then see if you're still hungry. Then if you are, then you should probably have a snack, So walking helps curb hunger. It helps you digest your food and everything, and it's honestly it's good because it also helps you distract yourself. And it's like sometimes like I'll just like I go on walks, I play video games, I read, so I'm not thinking about food, because half the time if you're sitting there watching TV, you're just thinking about food, you're just bored, So try to do stuff, try to find new hobbies so you're not just sitting there thinking about food all the time, because that's gonna make you go eat, And then like I said before, yeah, like I was over exercising and not eating enough to feel my body. Like I would do way too much, man. Cause I'm like, I need to do 2 hours of cardio every day. I need to do this. I would just push it to the limits, which is good. But like you also need rest days. I wasn't taking rest days, and then I wasn't eating proper. I wasn't hydrated, all this stuff, and it all plays such a big part. And like, I'm just telling you, man, like it affected me for the longest time. And it's still like not the easiest thing to talk about, because it was like it honestly took over like 2 years of my life. I would have like a few good months, and then boom, just a few months of just like binge eating and just feeling like shit, bro. And it's hard. It's really hard. It ruins your confidence, and like it just makes you not want to go outside and like do stuff and see people. And I get it, but I'm telling you, if you just do everything I just said, like it's everything that has helped me and like help be a better me. And it's just working on yourself. Hydration, sleep, proper diet, getting enough fats in, being properly hydrated. I know I just said that, but I can't emphasize it enough. Getting your protein, and just like moving more. Just move more and find stuff that makes you happy so you're not stressed and you're not sitting there thinking about food. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else. Also, if like I have a big sweet tooth, so like I just don't buy it. So it's not in my house, if you can't just eat a handful of chips, you're gonna eat the whole bag like me, just don't buy it, Save it for, Saturday night when it's your off day and you can kind of like eat whatever and enjoy life, and stuff. But like, or get the small bag, get a small bag, not the big bag, get a small bag, that way you can snack on it and enjoy it. But you got to know what you can and cannot do, you know? And it's like, I know some stuff I can't buy because I will just sit there and eat it because it's so good. And you just got to be, that's the main thing, is just being honest with yourself. And I'm always super honest with myself. And that's why, like, so I can have that food, but like in moderation. I just have to like, just be honest with myself and know how my mind and how my body react, and just keep working on it and just do what I can to overcome the struggles that I'm facing, you know? So I hope this helped at all. That's literally everything that helped me stop binge eating, stop snacking, and just stop overeating all in general. But also, if you are gonna snack, make it like some veggies. Make it like cucumber with salt and pepper, a cucumber with some salsa. You know, make a cucumber salad, make a salad, have veggies, have some frozen fruit. You can get a bag of frozen pineapples and it's 100 calories. Like you can find ways where it's cheap, it's healthy, and it's low calorie. So always opt for the low calorie option and stuff. But dude, just don't overthink it. Enjoy life and don't put so much stress on what you're eating and stuff. Just be mindful, you know? So that's it. Love you guys. I hope this helped at all.